Hello, I'm Sebastian Montclair, and you are watching Don't Play in My Face. What's good, people? What does it say about us when the people that we are closest to no longer support us? What would it take for our most diehard supporters to publicly decree that they no longer want anything to do with us? This is happening right before our very eyes, folks. The leader of the GOP is not only losing supporters, but his own family members are also telling him to not play in their face.
If it feels like the bottom has fallen out of the Trump campaign, this latest endorsement of Kamala Harris isn't going to do Donald Trump any favors. His own nephew, Fred Trump, appeared on The View, and here's what he had to say.
I believe in policy over politics.
Yeah.
And without question, Kamala Harris's policies are what I get behind. So I will be voting for Kamala Harris. And if I'm asked, I will campaign for her without hesitation. That was our mission, to advocate for people with complex disabilities. It culminated in May of 2020 in the Oval Office. Donald was there, and he was very gracious. Several other folks were there, including the group that we brought down. We dispersed. I was asked to go back and see Donald. He greeted me with his familiar, "Hey, pal, how's it going?" We sat down for a bit. And he just came out with, these people, all the expenses, they should just die. He's talking about human beings who have complex issues. And the first thing he could say was, they should just die.
Fred claims this wasn't isolated, describing a phone call to alert his uncle the medical fund set up by the family for his son William was running low, a fund he says the former president consistently replenished.
A couple of years ago, I called him. I said, Donald, the fund's running out. And without hesitation, he said, your son doesn't recognize you. Let him die and move to Florida.
Were you surprised?
That's a great question. My response was, no, Donald, he does recognize me.
What type of human being has the gall to speak such venomous words? Where is the humanity, the empathy? I, for one, believe that, and have always believed that, the former president is a man without the capacity to care for others. Needless to say, I am not the only person that feels this way.
I'm a former Trump voter.
I voted for Donald Trump in 2016 and 2020.
In 2020, I voted for Trump again.
I will never support Donald Trump.
I will not vote for him in 2024.
He's got so much baggage.
Trump is the biggest threat to our democracy.
He kept denying
that he lost the election.
Donald Trump was responsible for the violence on January 6th.
He could have prevented it.
Trump talking about retribution.
Retribution and going after people is disrespect of our military.
The military people that he's disgraced.
91
criminal felonies,
4 different indictments.
He mishandled classified documents.
Taking documents.
Now his desire to do away with NATO.
Donald Trump talks about abandoning Ukraine.
He said he'll be a dictator on day one.
If he's going to be a dictator on day one, he's going to be a dictator, period.
That kind of stuff scares me.
Absolutely scares me.
The second Trump term would be worse than the first.
A second term for Trump
would be far more extreme.
It is dangerous, outright dangerous.
I cannot support Donald Trump again.
I would never vote for him again.
He'll never get my vote, ever.
So what's exceptionally rare are sitting Republicans who do speak out. And even more rare, sitting Republicans who speak out and then go on to endorse a Democrat. But tonight, we have that for you here. The Republican mayor of Mesa, Arizona, John Giles, with a piece out today endorsing Kamala Harris. And he's here with me now. Mayor Giles, welcome. You know, you're really perhaps putting yourself out there with this endorsement. I do wonder, what has compelled you to do so?
You know, it was with a lot of thought. You know, I'm certainly not anxious. I am a Republican, and I enjoy endorsing Republicans. So this was a very considered step to take. And I also, as a mayor, you know, I love to not get involved in partisan politics at all when I can avoid it. Mayors like to focus on solving problems and on city issues and on, you know, being in the middle of between the 20-yard lines on all the things that there are consensus on. So this was not something that I was excited to do or necessarily looking to do. But, occasionally there are issues and questions that we're presented with in life that are just too compelling to be silent. And I knew that if that I had to sleep at night, and that I couldn't do that well if I didn't speak out and express my disappointment in the Republican nominee.
I always encourage everyone to vote, to exercise that fundamental freedom that makes America great. Who you chose to throw your support behind is your business. I only ask that you make sure the character of your nominee aligns with your own. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more engaging content like this. I wish you all the best. Take care, folks.